Come on, let's go.
The sheds, garages and barns of Britain are brimful of old and unwanted stuff.
Blimey.
It may look like garbage, but it could be worth a pretty penny. Petrolhead Henry Cole and his expert restorers Alan Millyard, Shirley Douglas and Guy Willison, affectionately known as Skid, love meddling with motors and returning all manner of furniture to their former glory.
It's a revelation.
While upcycling whiz Simon O'Brien
Must be mad.
and his repurposing duo Gemma Longworth and Phil Carroll transform unloved bits and bobs into fantastic one-off items.
Oh, I love it.
This is what we do.
They may have different tastes,
Yes.
but Henry and Simon are here to rescue your cast-offs
Feast your eyes, Ronnie.
and convert them into cash.
£4,000.
That's amazing.
Fabulous profit.
Today, Henry's in cubbyhole shelving heaven.
Simon, what do you reckon?
What? The whole thing?
Yeah.
Simon's love of cycles could bring him trouble.
There is a slight issue. The rear wheel over here is what they would call dished.
Mangled.
And at the valuation, Ronnie's feeling reflective.
It's a real nostalgic relic of someone's childhood. Mine.
Today, Simon and Henry are off to Bedfordshire to meet a couple who have a real whopper of a barn in their garden.
So what's going on? Where are we going?
If I told you we were going to see Mary and Paul, and they have a barn full of tractors, tandems, trakes, and trinkets, what would you say?
That's a lot of teas.
No time for tea. They've got 30 years worth of stuff we've got to get stuck in.
We could have just one cup, can we?
Possibly. Halfway.
What? Nice.
So there's a ton of stuff inside the barn. That could range from anything that's been used in engineering, agriculture, there's storage boxes, bicycles.
Yeah, I'd like them to just clear the barn a bit so that I have some space to get organised.
Mary, Paul, what a beautiful spot. How long have you been here?
I've been here since 1993, nearly 31 years.
Yeah.
And I've been in the village over 40 years.
Wow, so this is home.
Yeah.
And Paul, you're an interloper.
Yes, I am. I joined Mary 21 years ago when I met her.
In that time, though, I'm guessing with all these outhouses and things, you've gathered some stuff.
Yeah, we have unfortunately gathered a lot of stuff, but I hope that's fortunate for you, that you can find some really good stuff in our barn.
Is there sort of any automotive-y stuff?
We've got an old tractor,
All
an
right.
old Fergie tractor.
Everything has got a use tomorrow, but we never find a use for it.
I think we should get away from recycling and start reusing, because
That's
to
what it's all about.
reuse things is far more important, because if you're recycling, they're making it into something else. Energy is used there, whereas if we're using stuff, reuse it is much more effective.
That is music to our ears, and if it's all right by you, we will use our energy to repurpose 2 items each from your collection and do with them what we will, if that's okay.
That sounds
Fantastic.
absolutely fabulous. Thank you.
We'll see you later.
So should we start on
Yeah,
the
should we go?
big barn?
Yeah.
Shall we?
See you later, guys.
Okay.
See you
Okay.
later. Come on then, energy levels.
Energy.
So the boys are off for a rummage
It's not the smallest shed in the world, is it?
Blimey, it's enormous.
to find 4 items to mend, repurpose or upcycle.
Simon,
Yeah.
turn round. What do you reckon?
What? The whole thing?
Yeah, that is cubbyhole shelving at its finest. Look at it.
What?
It's mega.
You're not serious.
Well, yeah. That high, obviously, it's from a warehouse or something.
Yeah.
What happens if you cut it into 3, and then if you do them up, you've got 3 units as a kind of sort of set of drawers? What are you laughing at?
It's just...
What?
It's like you've taken your obsession and then just gone to a different level.
Every time I go into a shed, I think, oh, I can't take one of those because I took one last time. But changing something's use for the good of the planet, rock and roll, man. You don't have to buy a new one. We're having it. Come on.
Unbelievable.
What a great start to proceedings.
And the start of a whole lot of work for someone.
He is really going for it. I think Mary and Paul's pep talk about the not recycling but reusing has inspired Henry today.
Blimey, what are these things? Hey, look. Are they something to do with sheep or something, or feeds? Or there is a teat on each one, so obviously a calf or something like that would drink milk from it, right? But hey, man, how about turning them into lambs?
And
Like
because
that?
you've got this, you can get a cable in.
Oh, yeah. Well, we either pick the best ones or we create a menagerie of lights.
It's got to be like some kind of chandelier effect, doesn't it?
Wow, man, do you reckon?
Yeah. That is exactly what Mary asked us to do. That is repurposing, not recycling.
Absolutely, mate. That means
Yeah.
got 2 items.
Oh, you have, haven't you? I need to pull my finger out here.
Yeah, come on in.
So for once, it's Henry making a lighting feature and not Simon.
Come on, we need something.
So Si's floundering a little bit, but he might be coming back because he's found himself what looks like a tricycle.
Oh, this is so cute, isn't it?
Isn't it?
It's a lovely
Something.
thing. There is a slight issue.
Right.
The rear wheel over here is what they would call dished. Yeah.
Mangled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I just love it. If I can get this working, I might have a really nice home for this. I've got a friend who runs a charity, right? And they have bikes that anyone can ride of any ability or any disability. And so trikes and that kind of thing and adaptive bikes are their thing.
Mate, that just ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? What's the matter with you?
Just gonna be an awful lot of work.
Fulfill.
Possibly.
Yeah, great.
Okay, one item, need another one.
So 3 items in the bag, and Simon stumbles upon a mystery find.
What is that?
Blimey. Ask me one on sport.
It's like a medieval satellite dish or something, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Yes, and there's some other green wood back there with the slatted ends on. I know what that is.
Yeah.
I have spotted the item of all items, and I am going to take steps to put it back together. That is a yurt. I've got my second item. Let's go and see Mary and Paul.
I'll tell you what, man. Any stronger than that, and that would have really yurt me. Paul, Mary, we've had a blast today, and he's incredibly excited, but let's just keep him waiting for a second. Now, in there is this massive metal shelving. Where did that come from?
It came out of an engineering place in Bedford.
I really want to do something amazing with that, if that's all right. Now, look, my second item is, what are those? Are they something to do, animal feeders or something?
They are, they've got teats on the end and you hang them up and feed calves with them.
Well, that is my second item. As you can see, Simon's incredibly excited.
My first item is very exciting, but it's a little dinky thing. The trike, where did that come from?
It's one of the daughters found it in a hedgerow.
Well, do you know what? I've got an idea for that, if I can get it working.
Fabulous.
Now, is that a yurt?
That is a yurt.
Why on earth have you got a yurt in your shed?
My daughter used to run a forest school and it sat in the barn for years.
I mean, I can see it's going to need some TLC, but honestly, it's a yurt. Thank you so much.
And it's painted so beautifully, isn't it, already?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it has. It's lovely.
So what do you reckon, folks, about our picks?
Very interesting, I think.
I've got a yurt. Thank you, guys. A yurt. Thank you so much.
So 2 very large and 2 fairly small items heading for the workshops. Simon O'Brien and Henry Cole
Blimey, it's enormous.
are on a reusing and restoration crusade.
Hey, look.
They both picked 2 items from Paul and Mary's place.
It's like a medieval satellite dish or something, isn't it?
Now Skid is outside his workshop to start the restorations. First, the huge shelving needs to be cut into 3 parts.
That hasn't gone as expected. I don't think there's going to be 3 sections. I didn't notice it while it was all one piece, but this has actually come apart, which isn't a massive problem, but it has changed my overall plan. So now we will weld this back together, get some scaffold planks, and that'll be a lovely little sort of freestanding unit with a wooden top. Yes, it's gone wrong, but actually, when you get a curveball, it can make you change your plans for the better.
Skid's next job is the cattle feeders lighting idea from Henry.
They're made of aluminium. Henry wants them as a light fitting, but the thing is, he wants me to mount these kind of like that from the ceiling. I get that, I'm kind of with him, but I think it would be better, it's got this bracket, I think it should be wall mounted as an uplighter. The plate's the right way up, not only rather lovely, I think it's better than that. The first thing to do is to mirror polish these, and so I've selected my favourite 3, and then the arguments can commence.
In Simon's workshop, it's time to meet Ian.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay.
Who runs a charity refurbishing bikes for people of all abilities. And they're going to lend a helping hand in the resto in return for keeping the trike.
The trike can be used for anyone that has never either cycled before or has struggled. Typically children and adults with balance issues, any kind of disability that has not given them the chance.
Yep.
Even something like this is going to make a big difference. It's a solid frame, solid unit. Done it correctly, it will mean so much to many people.
So Ian might be able to help Simon out with the trike. But the yurt is one whole lot of work.
I have, however, just noticed down here we've got one snapped piece of wood, and the reason it's snapped is because the dreaded woodworm is at it. So first thing to do is get everything out and give it all a really good treatment, and then we'll figure out how you build a yurt. Phil! I know what you're thinking, but don't say it. Yeah, they open up like a trellis, don't they?
Okay.
Next job is just to spray everything we've got. Now, anything that kills bugs and things is probably very bad for us as well, rule of thumb. But I know this stuff is. So I'm getting masked, gloved and goggled. And I'm doing it outside in a very well ventilated area. But this has to be one of the biggest challenges I've ever brought back to the workshop. If you don't push yourself, what's the fun in life?
Next, Skid is back with the mega-sized cubbyhole shelves.
Having cut the other lump off it, I think this is now house size or workshop size. And if this is powder coated black with all the drawers in, I think it'll look lovely, and then you have the lovely little table unit to go with it. And so I think we've had a result with just the 2 units.
So after Skid gives the drawers a jet wash and Alan welds the table base, the whole lot can go off to the blasters.
Now, while the cubbyhole shelving and the bit I sectioned off to make a table are being blasted and powder coated, I was rummaging through the sheds and I found this beautiful worktop. Now, I want it a bit darker than this, so all I'm going to do now is Tudor oak wax it, give it a buffing, and then I think this will be perfect for that job. I don't even have to cut it.
Next up, back to the cattle feeder lighting idea.
All I've got to do now is I'm going to try and polish up these badges. So if you're very careful and you've got a soft mop with a fine polish on it, you can polish that on the mop and just go very gently, or you'll go straight through the black on that. So you can see they're nice and shiny now. There is a bit of wax left on the badge, so all I've got to do now is remove that by hand with a bit of alloy polish.
Meanwhile, restorer Phil has a job to do with the trike frame.
Now our primer's all dry and masked up, we're going to start painting our dark blue stuff first, which is a pretty good match to the original. Once I've done that, I'll do all the mud guards and the chain guard in the lighter blue that we've matched.
And while Phil sorts the frame, the buckled wheel has gone off to Rob from the cycle charity that Simon wants to help.
So the rim's quite buckled and they use a spoke key.
to tighten up one side, to loosen the other in the hope that it'll pull it over and straighten the rim. I'm just being nice and gentle. I'm working back and forwards.
And once the wheel is fixed, the trike can be reassembled ready for the charity to use. Next, the yurt has had the complete woodworm treatment and the team are off to a local community centre to see if they can assemble it for the first time in years. Let's hope all the parts are there.
Neither of us have ever put a yurt up before, have we?
Absolutely not.
I've watched demonstrations online. I went on YouTube.
Oh, that's terrible.
First thing you do is you put the door in place. Then you put the walls up, and what we're going to do is we're just going to assess it as we go, what kind of condition it's in, because we know the woodworm has been very mischievous with some bits of it.
Yeah.
But is there enough here for us to erect it?
Okay.
All right.
Where do we start?
We start by you counting how many of these are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
And with the door in place, the yurt jigsaw can begin.
So how do we know the height?
It's the same height as the door.
Oh, okay.
Simon, do you think you might have bitten off more than you can chew?
Possibly.
And to top it off, the roof.
It's not perfect, but I think for our first go of putting a yurt frame up, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm quite impressed, actually.
Now just a small matter of getting a massive canvas roof over the top of it. Go on, Phil, pull.
With the first batch of restorations well underway, it's now time for our second rummage location in Northamptonshire. And the boys are off to meet estate agent Simon.
We've got a massive grain store, and the problem is with massive spaces, you accumulate masses of stuff.
So, Simon,
yeah.
Property's the game.
I don't know if it's a game, but you know, sometimes it feels like one.
Yes,
Well,
indeed, yes.
Whether it's a game or profession, there's big sheds. Huh?
Big sheds, lots of stuff.
Where did the stuff come from?
A combination of house moves, and you just accumulate stuff. If you've got big space to fill, it sort of comes with you.
The trouble is, though, Simon, is that we can only take 2 items each.
So what we'll do, you know, we'll pick those 2 items each. We will repurpose them or restore them and try and make it a bit of cash and, probably more importantly, a bit of space.
Come on then.
See you later.
Blimey, that is big.
So the boys are after 4 items.
Are you ready?
That need some TLC and a new home.
We're in. Wow. There is every description of furniture you could possibly think of in there, and there is also 1 vehicle. What do you think Henry's going to pick? Answers on a postcard too.
Simon O'Brien. Hey? This is French.
It is, and you know what? There's something really iconic about this kind of rounded design, isn't there?
Mate, this is a Renault 4 from the 70s.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
hang on.
What?
There's no steering wheel.
No, it's left-hand drive. And also, if you can see, the gear shifter actually comes out of the dashboard rather than the floor.
Old stick shift.
It's your quintessential, glorious French voiture.
The Renault 4 was produced from 1961 to the early 1990s. It was the first mass-produced hatchback car and the first time Renault had used front-wheel drive in a family car. A total of 8 million were sold.
They are an emerging classic, and consequently, they are valuable. And if we can clean it up, get it going, hey, we're in clover.
Let's go.
So that's 1 big item in the bag. And for his next find, Simon's on the ball.
Now this looks interesting. Well, if we have a set of snooker balls,
Oh, okay, man.
we assume we
yeah.
have a rather tired-looking quarter-size snooker table.
Hey, look, and also, you've got your chalk, your rest, your cues,
You've got your triangles.
and your scorer. Mate, you've got the full set.
This is my big break, item 1. So we've both taken on a fairly big first item, so we just need a little trinket to go with it. Oh, come back here.
Oh, Simon, I can't take you anywhere.
So look, little pan shelving unit. Here's my thought process, okay? Here is something intrinsically of very little value. Can you add value?
Gemma Longworth could.
That's my second item.
Great. All right,
Happy.
mate. Fabulous. Come on.
And after another good rummage,
Not so ubiquitous.
quite nice. Golf clubs. Surf's up.
Henry finds something rather curious.
That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Well, it is, isn't it? What is it, kind of a screen thing?
It's a screen, but it's certainly not a modesty screen because it wouldn't really work, would it?
No, it wouldn't.
It's quite cool.
Oh God, here we go. Hands up high, touch the glow. Sky is glowing, stars align. Keep on showing, love divine. Oh my God, feel the beat, feel the beat. Oh my God, feel the beat. Moments flying, let it out. No denying, we'll shout. Lights are flashing, we won't stop. Hearts are crashing, gonna pop. Cities alive, buzzing street. We arrive, feel the heat. Oh God, here we go. Hands up high, touch the glow. Oh my heat. Oh my God, feel the beat, feel the beat. Oh my God, feel the beat. Oh God, here we go. Hands up high, touch the glow. Sky is glowing, stars align. Keep on showing, love divine. Oh my God, we'll feel the beat. Oh God, here we go, here we go. Hands up high, touch the glow.
Isn't it?
Do you think that's old or made Tuesday?
Oldish purely because it's been put in with flathead screws, but I wouldn't call it an antique.
All I reckon is that if we painted it up, we could add some value to it. Hey, I tell you what, you look great behind bars. Hang on a second.
Yes.
That's it. 2 each.
Let's go and see my namesake.
Yeah.
See if you can guess what Henry found. With the thing with wheels.
Tell us about it.
It's a Renault 4 and it's my parents. They had it in France as a little runaround and it's been sat in the shed for probably 6 years.
It's not going to sit in there anymore. Now, my second item, I mean, that is what, a screen, it's see-through.
But again, it's come from my parents' house in France.
Those, Simon, are my 2 items.
Great,
Nice.
great.
And Simon.
Yes, this little thing here, the value of that right now is, what would you say?
Absolutely zilch.
Correct. Let's see if we can add some value to it.
That will be fantastic.
My second one is not here because it's kind of rather heavy. That little quarter-sized snooker table, where did that come from?
I've had that for probably 20 years and enjoyed playing on it for a while.
Well, I am going to put in the work to get it back to its former glory.
No, I really look forward to that.
Well, all we can say, mate, is merci beaucoup.
Au revoir.
And as the boys say goodbye, it's time for the workshops to say hello. Simon O'Brien and Henry Cole are transforming unwanted stuff into folding stuff.
This is French.
They both picked 2 items from Simon's grain store.
Now, this looks interesting.
Now back at the farm, Skid's got a job on with the Renault.
Right, let's see what lurks below. Now that doesn't look too bad. It's not leaking oil and disgusting. Let's check the oil, always important. The thing you look for in there is that it's not like mayonnaise, they call it, and that's when water has got in there. We don't have to change it to start it, but I certainly wouldn't go a long way with that in. I think I'm just going to put a battery on this, top up the waters, put a bit of air in the tyres, I've noticed there, low, and then we'll give it a go and see if it'll start.
In her workshop, furniture restorer Shirley is intrigued by Henry's second find.
Well, this is an interesting item. I think it's been used as a room divider. I would like to make it into a screen. I think the first thing we would do is paint the metal, keep it sharp in black, and then the wood, lift it with a nice bright fresh coloured paint. On the back, put some nice, maybe a voile fabric so that you're enclosing the space. It's not a screen until it's got some fabric on it.
In Simon's workshop, it's game on.
This end, the cushions look good. So that all looks all right as well. We can have half a game. And the last one. Our base is complete. Our cushions all look good. So there's nothing here now that worries me that we can't fix. But the very first thing to do is give this base a really good clean.
Meanwhile, Simon has left a present for Gemma.
Dear Gemma, a small gift for your amusement. Simon, there's so many things I can do with this. These pine units are a great starting point for any upcycler. I'm obviously going to paint it, so first things first, let's give it a sand. Let's get it outside.
At the farm, Skids topped up the water, checked the Reynolds oil and pumped up the tyres.
It is like going back in time. We have the warning lights. I say, one thing I noticed is I've got two warning lights on at the moment. Well, one is the choke, but that's all right because I've got the choke on. But the other is, it is not charging according to this. So I think the alternator's gone. Here we go, here's the problem. This belt is the water pump belt, so it goes from the crankcase to the water pump here, and then that drives the alternator here. But the good thing is, it's an easy fix. I think these were about a tenner.
And in her workshop, Shirley's doing something similar with the screen.
I've removed all the metalwork just to make it easier to work with. Now, originally I was going to paint them, however, since I've started cleaning them, you're really seeing the beautiful colours. We've got brass and browns and reds, so I'm going to just polish them.
Next, the main frame is about to get a couple of coats of a paint with a quirky name.
So I've chosen Cool Beans, which is a lovely sort of putty shade. And I think that'll go really well with the brown tones of the metal. This is a water-based paint and there's no primer required. Just sand your wood and then straight on with the paint. Probably take 2 or 3 coats.
The next job is reuniting the metalwork with the frame.
Looking really good so far. Next stage is to add the fabric drapes. We've got the sticky on Velcro on one side and the stitched on Velcro on the other.
In Simon's workshop, the snooker table is now clean as a whistle and restorer Phil has been tasked to varnish the woodwork.
I've decided to use a yacht varnish on the snooker table. Reason being, the shine you get with a yacht varnish is really, really good. And it's very durable as well. My plan is to go over this, and I'm going to take a look at the legs, but let's get the top done first.
And when the yacht varnish has gone off, Simon gets busy with some base cleaner, which he's used before on his pool table at home.
Right, time to give this base a clean. I'm using a bona fide base cleaner. And I happen to know for a fact that it is really effective. Sometimes you get stuff online, it doesn't do what it says on the tin. This does.
In her workshop, Gemma is painting the small shelving unit.
Now I'm going to add a colourful, contemporary, abstract design over the top of it. I've got lots of tester pots and I'm very excited.
By using small tester pots, Gemma can use a wide variety of colours and keep the cost down.
The great thing about these little pine units is that you can find them anywhere, but they're not particularly valuable, so they're great for an upcycling project, and you can just go wild.
From Gemma's small-scale resto to the huge shelving and table project from the first barn search, everything is back from the blasters. And Skid has fixed the tabletop with some leftover wood, and Henry is chuffed to bits.
I've got to tell you, that is exactly how I imagined them to be.
That's a much more usable size now.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, that could go in a kitchen or something as well, couldn't it?
I mean, it's lovely, yes.
Oh, man, well done, Skidder. Beautiful. Ronnie's going to love them. Come on, tea.
And the lamb feeder lighting is all but finished too.
All right.
Oh, you're already here then?
Yeah. Can I just say, these have come out absolutely lovely, haven't they?
Skid's bought some battery-powered LED lights, so there's not even any wiring needed.
Check this out.
My word. What do? Just put it in there?
I thought 2 per item.
All right, lob it in.
There we go.
Mate, there you go. Look at that.
That's it.
And there's no wires either. They're lovely. I love them, mate.
In Liverpool, it's time for Simon to present the rebuilt trike to cycle charity worker Ian.
Wow, look at this.
I have a gift for you.
Amazing. Certainly better than the last time we saw it. It's unbelievable. It's just shiny, bling and...
Well, I think it was the combination of us both, wasn't it? You know, your mechanic kind of got it rolling again, and then we worked our magic, particularly Phil, spraying it back up. This is literally our gift to you. There is no cost to you guys because of this amazing kind of stuff that you do. I mean, it's just incredible.
For many people, it's their only chance out in the community for the week, you know, and to come out and just enjoy the green space.
Well, there you go, mate.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
That's very kind.
You just carry on your amazing work and you can ride it back.
I don't know about that, but thank you very much.
And the mega yurt project is finished too.
So cool.
It is really cool, actually.
And they've been building them like this for thousands of years. So that pattern in there, in the red, that's the sun.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And all the spokes are the sun's rays, and the patterning around the edge are like the cloud and the wind. So it's creating the sky, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Now let's just spend a moment communing with the spirit.
Off the pub, yeah? Come on, let's go. Come on. Let's go to the pub. Come on.
So after a pint, the teams will be hoping their hard work will pay off at the valuation. Simon and Henry found 4 unwanted items at Mary and Paul's place. Now they've been transformed. But what will they think? We've sent them pictures of the restorations to find out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, that little bike.
It looks like it's just come out of the box from the factory. And lights. Oh, wow.
They look amazing.
That's fantastic. I'm just amazed at everything they've done.
Well, that was a lovely reaction.
But have we made them any money?
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Hey, Ronnie.
Antiques expert and valuer Ronnie Archer-Morgan started his long career upcycling furniture, so he's well placed to know the true value of restored items.
This is intriguing. This is a Mongolian yurt. The things you find.
You don't come across a yurt every day, do you?
You
In someone's
certainly
shed.
don't.
Its main issue is that a lot of the trellis walling, they have been quite badly attacked by woodworm. And we've treated the woodworm, and there we've left it.
Okay.
I love that, man.
There's a little sunbeam. Let's have a look.
There it is. He knows
hang
where
on.
he gets his eyepiece out, doesn't he?
I can just about see the KS. That's a Brooks saddle.
It is a Brooks saddle.
I've got a picture of myself as a 3-year-old on one of these.
Really?
Yes. Black and white. And for something completely different.
Yeah. Well, Ronnie, look, we've cut them in half or in the third.
This goes on top of that.
Yeah, originally it did.
I mean, there's a lot of storage there. Very useful thing. Makes a statement for sure.
Those, by the way, are calf feeders.
I actually think as decorative uplighters, they look nicer with the handles up. Yeah, it gives it a little bit more gravitas. And I love the way you've polished up the steel and the brass, and it just makes them pop.
So shall I crack on?
Go on.
So, storage, Ronnie.
I think it's great. You've got to have the space and the need for it.
The massive shelving unit was just sitting in the shed. Now it's 2 part shelving and 1 part table. £150 spent on a shot blast and powder coat.
But if someone does, I'm sure they'd pay £500 for it.
That stacked up a profit of £350.
Let's move on to the lamps.
I love the calf feeders. I love that you've upcycled their function and made what was utilitarian decorative.
The cattle feeders had absolutely no use. Now they're a trio of trendy uplighters. £20 spent on LED lights.
They're great look.
Oh, good.
So I value those at £250.
Wow. Okay.
That's a profit of £230.
I'll jump in. Let's talk about the little trike.
I love it. It's a real nostalgic relic of someone's childhood. Mine.
The trike was a write-off. Now it's mended and is working for a good cause. £25 spent on paint and stickers.
People like children's toys and bikes. They're becoming more and more popular. And I'd value that at £100 easily.
That's a freewheeling profit of £75, which the workshop will donate.
We've been working very closely with an amazing charity that basically allows people with any kind of disability or anything to go out for a ride. So that means there will be profit here of £75, but more importantly, that is going to get a home in a fantastic place.
Great, great. Good, man.
Now then, here you go. Everybody yurts sometimes.
It's a stunning thing. I love the shape of it, I love the scale of it, I love the decoration.
And the yurt was on the edge of being unsavable. Now it's been woodwormed, mended and reassembled. £15 spent on woodworm treatment.
But from what you've described as the condition that's in, and some that I can just about see in the photograph, I think there's got to be £2,500.
I think you're absolutely fair there.
That's a profit of £2,485.
So that means that Mary and Paul will be receiving from this eclectic mix £3,140.
Really? No.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
You'll be in the barn now looking for other things.
Yeah, yeah. Can you come back next year?
The job you guys do, I think, is very, very special. And I love the fact that that's going to charity. That makes it even more special.
So Ronnie's chuffed. Let's hope for the same at the second valuation. Dukes of Junk, Simon O'Brien and Henry Cole are turning leftovers into lolly. The boys' choices made a total of £3,140 for Mary and Paul.
Can you come back next year?
And so it's game on.
Simon O'Brien.
As the teams finish off the restorations from Simon's grain store, starting with the Renault 4. A pair of new water pump and alternator belts have arrived.
And so what we've got to do is get this in through here.
And despite being a bit of a fiddly job,
I've just checked the tension on that, and I think that's about right.
Skid's confident that this will solve the problem.
Right, here we go, the moment of truth. There you go, that's the alternator light. Let's see if it goes out. Happy days.
And while the boys take the Renault out for a spin on Henry's Drive...
It's really nice, mate.
It is absolutely charming. It's a relaxing little car. This is a winner.
Shirley's finished the screen. And Henry thinks that's a winner as well.
That is a transformation.
It really is, isn't it?
Shirley, it's great. Was it expensive, though?
Not too bad.
All right, I believe you. I'll tell you what, though. If Ronnie don't like that, I'd give up.
I'm very confident Ronnie's going to like this one.
He will, of course he will.
Meanwhile, Simon has challenged Phil to a game of annoyance.
Okay. Hang on, Phil. You did a lovely job of all the woodwork on this, I have to say.
Thank you.
Hang on, Phil. And I think it was the right decision not to get it rebased. That was going to cost about £500.
Are you finished now?
Carry on, yeah. Hang on.
Don't.
Carry on.
Oh, lemon, not one.
Phil, lovely job on the varnish. Much better with a paintbrush than you are with a snooker cube.
And Gemma has done what Gemma does best to the little shelving unit.
I got your gift.
You did get my gift, didn't you?
I have had a great time. Looks good, doesn't it?
I love the cartoony kind of flowers. Have you added value? Definitely, in my opinion. Will it be to Ronnie's taste? Not a chance.
No. It's mine, though.
So the teams will be hoping their hard work pays off at the valuation. Henry and Simon found another 4 unwanted items at Simon's place. Now they've been upcycled or restored. But what will he think about what the boys have done? We've sent him pictures to find out.
Oh, wow. Look at the pool table. I used to play on that pool table about 20 years ago, and it looks almost as good as it did then. And the screen, I can see that fitting in contemporary homes and looking absolutely fantastic.
Simon seems impressed.
Yeah, and this Simon's impressed.
Yeah, but...
Will Ronnie
he
be impressed?
Let's see.
Should we find out?
Please, Ronnie, fill your boots, have a look round. Eclectic mix.
A Renault 4.
Iconic.
An emerging classic, I think. And dashboard gear stick.
Exactly, mate.
Nice little classic.
Yeah. You can get undressed behind that, Ronnie, if you want.
Not with you around. It's nice. I like it. I like the wrought iron work. It's a nice, substantial 4-leaf screen. I think screens are more desirable than most people think. You know, they divide a space beautifully and give an atmosphere. So,
well, Shirley's done a great job with that, I have to tell you.
This is nice too.
Yeah, a 6-foot snooker table, mate.
It's been varnished instead of polished, which is a shame, but lovely mahogany, actually. It's nice to have the top here, so it can be used as a table.
Yep.
It's a nice thing. I love snooker tables.
Yeah. Oh, a little shelving unit.
It's a shelf unit. It's not to my taste, but nice in a kid's bedroom, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, with like children's books in it and things like that. No, I quite like it.
Yeah, great.
I'll go first. Talk about the little pine shelving unit.
I think it's got an appeal and a charm about it. Like I say, I think it would look nice in a kid's bedroom.
The shelves were dull and boring. Now they're bright and beautiful. £10 spent on tester pot paint.
Very colourful.
Yep.
And it makes you smile a bit. I think it's an easy £70.
Do you know, that's fair enough, because the idea was to add value.
That's a colourful profit of £60.
Let's talk about the little Riley slate bed snooker table.
I like snooker tables, and I know if you want a snooker table or you go to someone who specialises, they're an awful lot of money.
Yep.
The game was up for the snooker table. Now it's been fully restored and it's game on. £20 spent on varnish and cloth cleaner.
But I think £600 would be a fair price for that.
Pot black.
Absolutely.
That's a sporting profit of £580.
OK, Ronnie, so let's talk screens.
And it's a great look. It's got atmosphere, very decorative, very nice screen. It's got a lot of elements that I think work together.
And the screen was unused and unwanted. Now it can divide a room and delight once more. £80 spent on cloth and paint.
I find them very desirable. I value that screen at £400.
Wow.
That's a profit of £320.
Now then, let's carry it on with the Renault 4.
That's a nice little classic, I think.
The Renault 4 was redundant and parked in the grain store. Now it's firing on all 4 and is back on the road. £100 spent on a new battery and belts.
Now, I like left-hand drives. I've driven many on the continent, England, all over the place. £4,000 I'd value that at.
That's a profit of £3,900.
So that means Simon is going to be receiving £4,860.
That's a lot of cash, just under £5,000. More than I thought. It's my parents, they'll be absolutely delighted.
So there's £3,140 in Mary and Paul's bank account. And £4,860 heading in Simon's direction. the biggest profit today being made by the Renault. But the yurt was a triumph too.
From Mongolia with a yurt to France with a car. What a journey we've been on.
Yeah, we have.
Just go a bit lower, bit lower, bit lower, bit lower. That's better, thanks.